So, hi everyone, I'm Elizabeth from Sacred Earth and Storm School, and this is the fourth um, free class in the series that I'm doing called the Flower Play. And the intention of these classes is really to help us to connect more with the earth and co create with her, and also receive the amazing healing from flowers and the flower kingdom. Flowers are absolutely magnificent, as we know. You know, it's like they have a language beyond our language. So if someone has suffered a tremendous loss, what do? We send flowers. It goes beyond anything we could possibly say when we have no words. And when we're really happy and we're looking to celebrate something, we always have flowers. They bring such upliftment and joy and celebration. They make something very special. So the flowers that we co-creating with are the Australian Bushflower um, uh, series, and it's a set of cards that I have, and we draw a card for every class, and then there's a specific message. So I've already drawn the class. I normally do it as a live class, but I wasn't able to do that on Monday because I was actually away and there wasn't a lot of internet connection. So yeah, every time is a different opportunity. So let's start. As I said, I've drawn the card and I'm going to read the message, and then we're going to do a very short attunement. This is going to be a very short class, but it's lovely to keep the momentum and also to receive the message. I always love drawing cards and the mystery of what is the message, because it's something that sometimes we resonate with, but we don't know what it's going to be. So it's adding to information that's already available to us. So let's just look where we are. We at the beginning of February, and the planet Uranus, which, as we know, has got a huge influence on current times. We're also in a Uranus sun. The sun sign of Aquarius, which is the modern ruler, is Uranus. And those are the beautiful birds. Yeah, and it's an air sign. Has just gone direct. So now it's still in Taurus, but it's now racing towards Gemini, where it's going to be for a very long time. So it's still a little while, but it's heading that way, and it's as if things are really getting momentum. Even like the release of the Epstein files, lots of things are suddenly coming to light. There are new revelations. This is very Uranus as well. Sometimes maybe shocking events, etc. And Uranus is really there to shake us up. It's a gift. It's something that we require, but it isn't comfortable. And the easiest way to deal with it, in my experience, is to look to go with the flow, and to it's all the way we perceive things. Like the Buddha was saying all suffering is really caused by our perception, by the way we look at things. It's the mind, it's the lower mind that doesn't see the bigger perspective, and therefore only can see the suffering in something. And it just reminds me of, and I would love to remind you in the earth also, is just perceive when you're going through stuff. We all are really going through a massive paradigm shift of truly healing and completing so much of the old yet again, but very, very big patterns for ourselves, for our ancestral line, for our countries, our cultures, our communities, big stuff. Is just observe how you immediately are drawn to deal with things. How do you perceive it? And I look at myself, and this is an exercise that I go through, and I have an awareness of my first instinct, which would be quite negative because it's coming from the past, it's got all these conclusions, and I frame it in a certain way in my mind, a certain picture almost, of what it is, what it will be, etc., etc. And then I remind myself to say, how can I shift? Because it's just a perception. Nothing is set. It's it's determined through the lens that we look through, how we perceive it, how we choose to look at it, and what we choose to believe about it. And to shift that into something where it feels lighter and more empowering, and most importantly, I don't see myself as a victim, because this is the old victim consciousness. And you know, the amazing thing about this is that it's not just a simple exercise. You certainly do feel a shift. You know, you may feel lighter in your emotions or your body even, but there's actually a chemical, I mean, this is what the medical science is showing us, that, you know, certain thoughts create certain chemical reactions in our hormones, in the way, you know, our body reacts, whether it's flight or fight, or whether it feels it's safe. Very, very interesting. And that's why you can have two people where the so-called same event happens to them. The one has got devastating consequences, and it's almost like they get a knock for life. They never recover. And the person, same circumstances, somehow seems to have a very different way of dealing with it. And that is all to do with the power and the mastery of how we perceive things. So I would encourage you to remember that, you know, it's not just an airy-fairy concept, that actually has a physical effect on your body. And we're becoming so much more connected to our body and understanding what our body is all about. And our body, you know, there's so many possibilities in the way that we can navigate through life and create this truly much more joyful and empowered and creative and manifesting life, an abundant life, through being more aware of our body and consciously creating with it in a way that is productive for us and for the body. But it requires wisdom, knowledge, and this is what we're receiving now because we're able to have all this information. But it also requires choice, you know, whether we are willing to do this, whether we make a commitment to do this. And this brings me to the next really important aspect at the moment, as we know, is that the planet Saturn, the big outer planet, slow-moving planet, Saturn, that rules Capricorn, is on its way, yes, very exciting, on its way to move from Pisces into the sign of Aries for a long and quite a number of years. So it will be moving into Aries on the 14th of February, so that is in about 10 days' time. And then on the 17th, we have a solar eclipse, and on the 20th, we have this big conjunction, long-awaited conjunction that is highly unusual, very unique, at 0 degree of Aries, with Saturn that is then in Aries, and also Neptune that is already in Aries. So what does this mean with Saturn? You know, Saturn is at the last degrees of Pisces, and when a planet is at the last or the beginning of a sign, very end or the very beginning of a sign, it has like added impact. It's almost like there's an urgency, there's an intensity that comes with it. So at the moment there's an urgency and intensity with Saturn, and Saturn at the end of Pisces is saying you really are being faced, every single person is being faced with responsibility, because Saturn is all about responsibility, true responsibility, and that is not, you know, this thing of carrying burdens. That's not responsibility. Responsibility is the ability to respond and the willingness to do that. And you feel better doing it. It may be something even hard, but you feel lighter and uplifted because you do it, because you know this is the right thing to do, as it were. So Saturn is saying, step up, and anywhere in your life where you may not be, you still have to face things, or still take more responsibility and go into something deeper or pay more attention to it, that will come up now. So I would encourage you to really not see it. You know, Saturn can sometimes be a little bit, oh my word, you know, it's quite strict, kind of. It's the image of father, the good father, but the good father also says you're not going to get away with anything. You know, this is how it is. This is its structure and its authority, but it's there as a positive contribution the frequency of the true Saturn Capricorn energy is its contribution. It creates more. It creates structure and stability in a good way. So see where you're being challenged, or where can you step up in your responsibility, because once it goes into Aries, that opportunity has closed, and it will be somewhere around, because Pisces is very also connected to victim consciousness, like maybe where you are in victim, or people around you in victim, or there's something for you to do. It's about taking action and being responsible. So yeah, beautiful times, very intense times, but beautiful at the same time. There's a lightness in the frequencies that are coming in. There's an amazing sense of support. And the last thing I would remind you of, that I certainly am doing, and that is to consciously choose to be aligned to the highest timeline, the highest frequency that one is able to access at this time. When you're in that frequency, it feels light, you feel uplifted, you don't feel worried, fearful. Things might be, you may be aware of certain things, but it's not as if it's blocking you, stopping you. You feel like you're in the flow. And also there's a sense of everything is going to work out. It's okay. All is well. It's really that feeling. All is well. And know that all is well, but that you need to choose it. It's a frequency. It's like if you are looking to create a life and a future in the present now, and as we move on, in the moment, in the present now, if you align to that it's like a radio station that says all is well, and in that sound and radio station, all is well. All is well, all will be well. But you need to stay aligned to it. That is the requirement. If you allow yourself to get distracted and go into another radio station where all isn't well, and that's what the radio station is about. It's not better or worse, but it's certainly not as pleasant, and it's not going to create as much. You get stuck in that other radio station or timeline. So it requires just awareness, and just to be really kind and gentle with ourselves, and to say, okay, maybe I've had an interaction with someone, or I didn't sleep well and now I'm feeling not so great. Just go, okay, what am I aligned to? Okay, I'm intending to align to the highest frequency timeline that's available to me. And we're all different, so different frequencies, but it's a light, there's a lightness to that frequency or sound or timeline, however you'd like to describe it. Fabulous. So let's look at the card that I drew for the fourth class, and this is called, it's very interesting, the Toddler Tamar Essence Remedy. And the flower is, and many of you may know this, the Black-Eyed Susan. It's called the Black-Eyed Susan. And the affirmation stroke direction is, I'm now feeling peaceful, calm, and soothed. I'm now feeling peaceful, calm, and soothed. So it is. So it's interesting that this is coming up for us in this class, because I always ask for it to be, obviously for us individually, but also collectively, in the collective mind, because we all are going through these massive changes, and the Flower Kingdom can really assist us with it, make it easier. It doesn't have to be so hard and long and difficult. And it's really about, because these frequencies are so intense now, as we know, there's so much sun activity, but it's actually coming from beyond our sun. We still have through our Atlas, moving through our solar system. It's going to come closest to Jupiter in March. We have these massive outer planets that are changing sign. They're moving into a very new, different energy. There is so much going on, and the frequencies are really elevating. So the bodies are really taking strain, and the advice from the earth is truly for you to ground, to become very much anchored in your body. because if you're not, and if your body doesn't feel connected to the earth, it's very easy to be blown by all this very intense energy. And then, it's easy to feel fear or to not feel this calmness. And the body can also feel really quite stressed. I've certainly felt it. It's like I feel exhausted. And it's okay to feel exhausted, but then to rest. It's part of that grounding. So let's call on the energies of this beautiful flower and the earth and the magnificent power of Australia, that's such an ancient land and has such a huge contribution to make to our planet, especially at this time, to assist us in our bodies to receive this calmness, to feel soothed, and to know all is well. Just like the baby needs to know that it's safe, and to know that we are safe, and for body to know that we are safe. There's so much earth activity going on. There's the solar flares, etc., and also causing a lot of earthquakes, volcanoes. Everything is very unstable because this is Uranus. It's creating change. It's time. But it's uncomfortable. So let's receive that, and this is actually very beautiful just thinking about it, because the conjunction that's happening on the 20th of February, in about 15 days time or whatever, is at 0 degree of Aries, and that is the actual birth. It's the very beginning of the zodiac. So it will be like a birth. It will be the beginning of all beginnings. So let's prepare for this birth and know that we can be soothed, we can be calm and peaceful, and all is well. So if you want to just for a few moments close your eyes, let's just do an attunement and an alignment. So, and if you want to just put your hand on your higher heart area, which is the top of the chest. And if you want to close your eyes, it just helps you to go a bit more within. And I just want to speak to your body and say, body, you are totally safe. And body, we love you. Thank you, body, for doing this journey with us. And now imagine that you're calling the energy of the blue-eyed Susan. It's actually called the black-eyed Susan. Calling the energy of the black-eyed Susan. And you may know what it looks like or you may not, it doesn't matter. Just feel the energy of this beautiful, soothing, soothing, soothing flower. And now imagine that you and your body are this tiniest, most beautiful baby. I love babies. They're so pure, they're so trusting, they're so innocent. And just feel that energy, feel yourself, that aspect of you and your body as being this beautiful, soft, gentle, vulnerable baby. And feel the energy of this flower. It's enveloping you, it's covering you, it's holding you. What image do you get? Maybe you can imagine that the flower is almost like a mother that's rocking the baby, soothing the baby, saying to the baby, you're safe, all is well, you can be calm, all your needs are met. You don't have to worry, I'm here. Just as the flower is saying that, just as the mothers, our beautiful mother, the earth, is saying that. And just help your body with your intention to remember what it's like to be calm. And bring in an image the earth is saying of calmness. Maybe I'm seeing a beautiful calm lake. Beautiful lake that's very, very calm. And just feel that for a moment. Just take your body and your attention to that memory. Whatever that calmness or memory is for you. Somewhere in nature. Or maybe you can see yourself or someone who is very calm. Just the expression on the face. There's no need to fight or to flee. There's no flight or fight response that's necessary. Nothing is required. You're safe. all is well. So just allow this to go right through the body. Imagine it spreading through the body like a beautiful sound. And maybe you can even imagine it to be this color. And the color of the Black-Eyed Susan is something like almost a lilac. And it's the species of this flower is about, they say, 39 million years old. It's ancient. And now imagine that you're inscribing in your heart and you say, I'm feeling peaceful, calm, and soothed. I'm now feeling peaceful, calm, and soothed. And so it is. So just take a moment or two to take your focus to your breath. Very important to breathe. Focus on the breathing. We are moving into the elements of fire and air. The planets are moving into those elements now. And so really, really important to focus on that and invite those elements, especially the element of air with Uranus, to really be a contribution to you and your life and your body. So with many blessings, and looking forward to seeing you next time, the next class, which will be on the coming Monday. And yeah, what else is possible? Anything. Let's do it. Lots of love, Elizabeth.